you for watching Pipeline Live. Thank you for tuning in. I guess that's what you do. You tune in, right? I am Hannah Chandler, and today we have Taylor Martin. He is our lead web developer, and he's going to be talking websites. So if you have any questions about websites, leave them in the comments, and we will do our best to answer them. And by we, I mean Taylor.
Right.
We'll answer them. So let's talk websites. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So as you guys know, if you're your business, you need a website.
Yeah,
now.
for sure.
No matter what, if you're a small business, large business, if you're a brand, if you're if you're a photographer, anything like that.
Got it.
You have to have one. Today, and we know it can be confusing, the different kind of websites that are out there. So today we're going to go through just a few.
Okay.
There's obviously more, but we're just going to go through some of the most popular kind of websites.
Main websites
you can have for your business.
Okay, great.
So let's go ahead and get started.
Let's do it.
The first is a product brochure or services website.
Okay.
So this is probably the most popular out there right now. Old school, you would have a pamphlet or something. You would have a little trifold thing that you would give out that had a little bit about your company, about the owners, kind of what you offer, a little bit about all that stuff. Now, just the brochure is more like a digital version of that.
When is the last time you held a paper brochure in your hand?
It's been a while. I've had some pamphlets. Got to get some good literature out there. Yeah, when you go to an expo or something, you need some good literature. But now it's digital. So let me show you guys an example of one of these brochure type sites. So this is one of the sites that we built here at Pipeline. This is a local Christian school. This site has a ton about the school. You have a ton about the school itself, about the leadership. You can click on that. People love seeing the people that your student's going to actually interact with.
Yeah.
So it shows a little bit about the school, shows about admissions and academics, athletics, all this kind of stuff.
So multiple pages.
Yes, multiple pages. Now this is a very large site.
If this was printed, it'd be like as thick as a Big Mac?
It'd be as thick as like this, the super Big Mac they just came out with. It'd be extra thick. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you don't have all this information, that's fine. You can go with something a little bit smaller.
Okay.
Here's another example, which is one of our favorites, of course. This is what I look at there. It's Pipeline. This is our website. So this is another one of those brochure type sites. So as you can see, when you open up, you have a nice strong call to action up here right at the top. Let's start a conversation.
Let's talk about call to action.
Call to action.
Talk about that. Explain that a little bit.
So call to action, the way I like to think of it is, in an ideal world, when someone visits your website, what is the one thing you want them to come away with? What is the one thing, the one way you want them to interact with you?
Got it.
So that can be, in our case, start a conversation. Let's talk about social media or websites.
Okay. Check out our product.
Yep. Learn about the product.
Okay.
Sign up for the newsletter.
Okay.
All these options are really good calls to action. And you want to make sure, no matter what kind of website that you have, is that your call to action is easily accessible above the fold, as a newspaper term. That means just the first thing that people see on the screen.
Okay, without scrolling.
Yes.
Okay.
And you want the rest of the page, of course, to give a great overview of the services that you offer. But preferably, you'd want someone to visit your website and be like, "Oh, yes, I want to go with them." You want to make sure they're able to do that immediately.
Okay.
That's a big thing.
Make it easy peasy.
Yes, and the rest of it, we like to think is a little bit less is more. So you want to kind of preview things for your audience. You don't want to give them the whole thing yet. So this, for example, is our web services page. It talks a little about why you might need a new website, and all this kind of stuff. And down here, we have little snippets about design, development, maintenance, and landing pages, the 3 services that we offer.
Okay.
So you want to just give them just a taste.
Short and sweet.
And then if they want to delve deeper into it, they can.
Okay.
But you give them a good overview just right from the start.
Got it.
So that's a good little bit about call to actions there. Very important.
Okay.
So the next kind of website we can have is a news or a blog site. So this is another site that we put together. This guy named Rashawn. He has a bunch of different things he's involved in, from a radio show to baking, all this kind of stuff. And so this is, if you're a writer or, if you run a magazine or something like that, this kind of it's kind of a content aggregation site is what I like to call it.
That was a really good word.
I know, right? I know some words.
You got some words.
So this is just an example. You can categorize out the different kind of content. This is video content or YouTube videos of the radio show.
Okay.
The categories are all, listed out here.
Make everything easy to find.
Yep. And let's see here. We can scoot over to the baking. This is another cool bit of information here.
He's an amazing baker.
He is. We have had some of his desserts. It's quite
so
delicious.
Good.
But here's some more information. So it's a little different kind of information. Okay. It can be video or pictures or
words.
Words. If you're a blogger, you're a writer. I think the blog news site might be the one for you. Yeah. All right. So the next one is a portfolio site. Let's go to that one. So this is not one of ours, but this is a really cool one that I found. So if you're, creative type, if you're a photographer, if you're a videographer, you're a singer.
I'm a singer.
You're a singer. All right, we'll have another episode
with show tunes.
Just
with
Hannah doing show tunes.
I'm not a singer.
Some Les Mis and. What's your favorite musical? Just out of curiosity.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Oh, the second they come out with the Jurassic Park musical,
I think it would do really well.
There.
Right?
I think it would too. I'd love to see the production design on that. Hopefully, we'll leave that there.
Call me.
Yes.
Jurassic Park musical people.
All right. So the portfolio site. Back on track.
Yeah, here we go.
So with these, you can be a little bit more creative with the content here.
Okay.
People are expecting that, especially if you're a photographer or something like that, graphic design. So this is one for an agency. You can kind of scroll through just see little examples of the different kind of work that they've done. It's pretty neat, so you can delve deeper into that.
So just one place where all of your work is.
Yeah, and so you want bright colors. You want it to look really good. And you can have a blog as well on this one if you want to keep people up to date with what you're doing.
So still multiple pages.
Yeah, we're still looking at multiple
site.
pages.
Okay.
Yep. And the next kind of site, which I'm sure you guys have heard of, is an e-commerce site.
Have you ever heard of Amazon.com?
I've heard of that. I think they have something to do with delivering books.
Books or something.
And only books. But they do it in like 2 minutes.
I love Amazon.
It is very good.
So good.
They make it really easy to buy stuff when you shouldn't necessarily buy stuff.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, that one-click ordering, you got to turn that off. So, an e-commerce site, which you guys, of course, all know, it just features specific products. So this can be anything from, very small things or furniture. It could even be like digital downloads, something like that. You can sell all of that online here. So on an e-commerce site, you, of course, want to focus on the products on your homepage here. So here you can see the different categories. Everything is listed out very well. You can find what you're looking for easily. You can click on one of them. You see some beautiful photography here on some of their products. Just another side note, if you do a e-commerce site, you want to make sure that you have very good photography.
Yes, photography.
Because the pictures are everything, images are everything.
Definitely.
So don't just take a picture with your phone. Like find someone who really knows what they're doing.
I agree with that.
Because the images are going to speak for themselves.
Yes.
So if you're going to do this, there's a couple of different options that you can use. WordPress is a very popular platform. It's the one that we use here at Pipeline. Their e-commerce platform, WooCommerce, is yes. It's very expandable. There's tons of plugins you can use, very customizable. And because of that, it can be a little on the expensive side to build. You're building it custom from the ground up, so there's lots of options. If you're looking for a little less expensive way, and actually this site's on this platform, there's one called Shopify. It's basically a ready-made platform. It includes all of, you can input products. Okay. You can even have it interact with your own POS software that you already have, or you can use their POS software.
Super user-friendly.
Yeah, super user-friendly. And, of course, there's still a lot of design that needs to go into these sites. There's templates that are there that you can start out with, but you're going to make sure that it fits your brand. But it's just a lot easier and a little less expensive way to get a web store off the ground.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So those are all full sites.
All full sites.
Full sites, multiple pages.
Multiple pages.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are there simpler options if you don't want multiple pages, right?
Yes, there are simpler options.
Okay.
If you're just starting out as a business, you may not have a lot of content already. Okay. You may just have the basics, a little bit about the founder, maybe some examples of some services that you've done. There's some smaller options, a little less expensive options that you can use in that case. Let's go over one. Now, this one is you're required to already have a website for it.
Okay.
But it's called a landing page.
Okay.
So landing pages are very special because they're all about one particular product or service. We're back on Rashawn's site now. So this is about a baking contest that we have going on. So this page has a little bit of information about it, prizes you can win, a bunch of rules, and then down here you have a customized call to action.
Call to action.
Call
there
to action,
it is.
very important. And it's customized specifically for this. So this is really helpful, especially if you're trying to coordinate like a Facebook ad campaign or Google AdWords. You can make sure that they both correlate well with your actual ad and with the actual page itself.
Okay.
And you can customize everything specifically for that. It's a very effective way to reach out to customers.
That's good information.
Thank you. It is good information, isn't it? All right, and the last one we got here is a one-page site. Let me scroll back up to the top here. So yet again, this is if you don't have a ton of information or if you just want to just have a very succinct version of your website.
Got it.
So usually you can just scroll through it. So this is another agency site. Talk a little bit about your site, a little bit the kind of stuff that you offer. You can usually navigate. It does have a menu.
Does have a menu.
Yes.
Okay.
It just works a little differently. Usually,
it
just scrolls to the different sections of the website as you go through, and of course, bottom, call to action. Come talk to us.
Who would have guessed?
Always bring it back to the call to action.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah. So no matter what kind of website you need, whatever size business you are, it is very important to get that online presence out there.
Yeah.
And so you want to just make sure you have the right website. You want to make sure it stays within budget. It's important, of course. And there's multiple options for you. And what's great about it too is that you can even expand down the road. If you start with a one-page site,
that's a good point.
You can eventually add more services to that,
So just because you start as a one page doesn't mean you're going to stay.
Right, and you're not stuck there forever.
Got it.
And when you design a home page, you kind of like if you go that snippet route. So you have a little snippet about you, a little snippet about your services. It's actually a very good way to kind of segue into creating a multi-page site. You can keep the same homepage design just about, and then you just add pages and you just link off to that.
There you go.
So it's
add pages.
But the most important thing, even if it's just a website that just has your logo and a contact form says we do this. Yeah. You just need something online.
Something is better than nothing.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. So that's
way to go.
Yeah.
I would clap. I know that's not.
We don't want to overdrive.
Don't clap.
The night.
Yes. Don't clap. All right.
We're silent.
So that's all we have.
Yeah,
do you have anything else to say?
Just if you guys have
last words,
any questions, just put them in the comments below. We'll be happy to answer them, and or just contact us through pipelinesocialmedia.com.
Yeah, thank you. Y'all have a good one.